Can I get that script right there? Oh, yeah, thanks. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 11. And my translation goes like this. And as they still went on, talking about Elijah and Elisha, as they still went on and talked, behold, spaceships and airplanes separated the two of them, and Elijah went up by a laser beam into heaven. Many people believe that the chariot of fire and horses of fire and whirlwind in this account in 2 Kings is talking about space aliens and spaceships. And I'm not saying that it is or that it's not, but the thing is, how do we translate the words in this account? These words, these Hebrew words, how do we best translate them into English? How do we most honestly translate them? How would you want them to be translated? How the words on the page aren't not spaceship, and they're not airplane, and they're not laser beam. And why? Why is that? Well, it's really simple. Spaceships and airplanes and laser beams are man-made inventions that didn't exist in this the writers of this scripture in his time period. So maybe what he saw was spaceships. I'm not arguing it if it is or isn't. Maybe what he saw was spaceships, but the words that he used to describe the spaceship, or if it was, a chariot of fire, the word that he used to describe that were chariot and fire. As far as his understanding, the intent of this author was to describe a chariot of fire and Elijah going up in a whirlwind, not in a laser beam. That was the intent of this author. And maybe you look at his words and you see, no, what he really wanted to say was spaceship. But maybe he did want to say spaceship, but he didn't have the words to use in his language to explain spaceship. He couldn't conceive of what a spaceship was. And in our time, we have these kind of terms. The best translation for this is, behold, chariots of fire separated the two of them. And then what we do is we take that understanding of chariots and fire, and then we can write a footnote at the bottom. This was possibly a spaceship that he saw, or he didn't have the words to explain, but this was a spaceship, or something like that, and you write the paraphrase at the bottom. We should be fair to the author when we translate their work from one language to the other. We should be fair to them to translate their words and what they said. That's a hermeneutical principle, is authorial intent. You need to be true to the authorial intent rather than to your culture or your opinion of what the author's saying. What we have here is called acronism, and it's a basic translational error. And this is a specific type of acronism. It's called a prochronism. And I'm just going to read the definition of prochronism that I got off of Wikipedia, 2009 Wikipedia. A prochronism, on the other hand, occurs when an item appears in a temporal context in which it could not yet be present. The object had not yet been developed, The verbal expression had not been coined. The philosophy had not been formulated. The breed of animal had not been developed. The technology had not been created. An example might be Western movies. Placing of firearms, not introduced until 1870s, such as the Winchester 1873 rifle or Colt single-action army revolver, into frontier society of antebellum or Civil War years. So if you see movies with, Western movies with like a machine gun in it, it's going to be funny. That's called an prochronism. The same can be done in translations. Here's another continuation of this definition. While prochronisms such as this may not be noticeable to the uninformed, other prochronisms are frankly comic in their effect. A 10th century British peasant earnestly explaining his village as an anarcho-syndicalist commune in the film Monty Python and the Holy Grail, or a Beatlesque band called the Bedbugs appearing in the American Civil War era TV comedy F Troop. These ideas obviously didn't exist in the movie The Holy Grail, which takes place in biblical times. There's no such thing as a syndicalist commune. This idea did not exist. So this is perfect. They're using these words that don't fit the time period for their use. I asked you in the beginning, what is wrong with my version of 2 Kings, chapter 2, verse 11? What's wrong with that? Just take a minute and think about it. Why can't I call chariots of fire spaceships, and horses of fire airplanes, and a whirlwind that takes Elijah up a laser beam, a UFO's laser beam? Isn't that what Elisha saw? Isn't that what this writer of 2 Kings understood, what really wanted to say? You might want to think about a lot of the other translation work that's done in the Bible.